right now.
Listen to music.
Play some music.
I'll just play it on the phone.
Please sign it.
There's no way putting down a bridge. I don't have a bridge. What did she say that?
I know it's oh, God.
It seems like something you would not want to send to your clients.
But she's thinking that.
Yeah.
She's.
What if I could work here? There's no way. Totally.
There's no way possible.
Nope, there's no way. Did you get me glasses?
I didn't. No. Neither. This, you know,
I've always been.
I have like 88 pairs of reading glasses. It's different colors.
You want to go on?
Well, Julia, you handle the.
Oh, I can't.
All right. We are now on. Hello, Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram.
World.
Instagram,
Yes.
the world. How is everyone tonight?
Hello.
And we are here to talk about what's top of mind, and we are all doing well. Everybody made it through the storm, all of
Yes, it's been the derecho, right? And then we had a hailstorm, and then we had some other storm. So it's been a little bit crazy. Huh?
that. Did y'all have any storms where you're at?
No, just that one, but it was worse on this side.
Yeah.
So it wasn't.
Yeah. Same. I'm in Sugar Land, but some lost power, but I didn't, thank God. But that was pretty much it. Strong wind, rain.
Yeah. Yeah, they're grateful for the city of Houston.
Yes.
Over in our neighborhood, they have these big trucks, and it looks like a moving van that's been hollowed out. And then they're carrying a trailer behind it. And in the trailer, it's got this big mechanical arm. And they're going street by street and picking up big things of brush and putting it in the moving van. And they can do like one stop and then they leave.
Oh, wow.
And so there's like 4 or 5, I don't know how many there are, but they're all over the place.
I talked to that guy. He's from FEMA. So his job is just to clear the street. But that telephone pole that's cracked at the base, that's like this, that's not falling because it's hanging on the electric wires, that's the city of Houston. Completely different department. So he can't touch it. He'll notify him, but he can't touch it. Yeah,
That's
so
all smart, I guess.
it's very interesting.
Well, and we had today when we were having our team meeting, we were doing our team meeting remote. 2 ladies came knocking on our door, and that's why I had to get up and excuse myself for a minute. And they were from FEMA, and I don't know if she had a badge on and everything. I don't know if that's like for real or not.
Scam or not.
We just- I don't know.
Because it's been bad here.
Yeah, I was gonna say those 2 ladies did not look like they were gonna scam me. I mean, they were so anyway. Yeah, so I didn't ask to see their badge. I was just like, no, that's okay.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Too funny.
So, what is top of mind this month? What are we thinking about?
Vacation homes.
Vacation. home.
Second home.
I know, it's
Vacation.
June, July,
Yeah.
August, vacation. Vacation homes.
Yeah. So, if you've ever been anywhere, so has anybody? Before we talk about specifics, have you ever been anywhere where you're like sitting at on the balcony or by the pool or by the beach or in the mountain, wherever, and you thought, God, if I could just buy a place here
Yes.
and we could visit every so often, where is that? Where's the place that you had thought about doing that?
The Bahamas or Jamaica.
Really?
Mm.
My sister just got back from the Bahamas. Wow. I've never been to the Bahamas or Jamaica, either one.
No, actually, for me,
There wasn't enough. Yeah.
I know, right? Yeah. I mean, yeah.
the places that I would pick is every place that we want to, right? So when I'm in Miami, I'm like, oh my gosh, let's do Miami. When I'm in San Diego, oh my gosh, let's do San Diego. New Orleans, oh my gosh, let's go get something in New Orleans. So it's pretty much everywhere we've got. Mexico City, let's do Mexico City.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, for me, I get there and I'm like, oh my gosh, let's figure this out. Why are we not living here? Why do we not have a place? And by the end of the trip, I'm usually, and which is a good test for me, because by the end of the trip, I'm like, I'm not coming back here, or I'll come back to visit,
It's
but
great
I
to
don't
visit.
want a
right?
place.
Yeah.
You don't want to
Yeah.
live there. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's I think of the beach. So some people like the mountains, some people like the beach. I'm more of a beach person, and when I start thinking of a place, I either want it close enough that we can visit regularly, like Galveston or something, or I want it a 2 hour flight, no more.
Mhm.
And so,
Something
like,
quick.
Puerto Vallarta is
Yeah.
that
That's
for us.
three.
But
That's 3
is it? Well, it's out of the list then.
Right.
Going there, yeah. It would have been nice. So, yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, we're sending something out later in the month that talks a little bit about vacation homes. So, so that's kind of what we're referring to here. But how many Americans in 2025 will be working remotely?
Post it in the comments down below or on the
Do
side.
not Google it. No,
Don't
don't
Google it.
Google it. Is
That's
anybody
right.
on, by the way?
Yes, there are 3 people on, and
Who is it?
I don't know where they're not showing up just yet.
Oh,
So
okay. So we don't know who you are unless you make a comment.
there you go.
So comment. What do they always say on those YouTube videos?
Yes,
Comment,
comment,
subscribe.
Yeah, comment, like, and subscribe. I hate that part. I'm usually trying to fast forward. Yeah. So anyway, comment, and we might see it. We might not. I don't know. But at the end, we have an amazing prize for somebody that can guess the exact numbers. So,
All right, there you go.
And no Googling.
and Julie's going to come up with the prize. So, Julie, what's the prize? Okay, well, you got 20 minutes. Yeah, so,
Bubbles.
yeah, bubbles. You might like some bubbles up there. So thoughts on working remote. Do y'all know anybody that has actually changed where they? So we went through a thing during COVID. We were already experiencing it before, which was
Remote work.
remote work,
Yeah.
right?
We're forced to. Yeah.
Yeah, and so everybody was pretty much forced to, but there were those that were doing it before. And do you guys know anybody that is 100% remote and they've actually taken the plunge and moved away from their home city?
Before you say that,
Uh-huh.
hey, Michael Kirkpatrick. Hello.
Oh, there he is. Hey, yes. Julia Kirkpatrick. There you go. So,
Your husband's watching. Don't say anything.
well, that's yeah.
That's it.
That's her
Your
father-in-law.
father.
Yeah.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
father-in-law.
All right. Yeah. So.
Everybody's watching too.
That's good. So, but yeah, do y'all know anybody that does remote work that has actually moved away and their job was in Houston and then they took off and went somewhere else?
No.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. I mean, I don't know like personally, but I know someone who's done this. She actually quit her job here and to work remote. I mean, just travel, and wasn't to one particular place though. Now, I would imagine
That's
at
interesting.
some point that she would settle down and purchase somewhere if this is what she's going to do, if it's going to be a thing. But I think she was just trying to sort out, from what I was told from another person, a mutual friend, that she was just traveling from all over the world to see exactly where she lands. But
Wow.
yeah. So I guess she'll purchase somewhere at some point. But yeah.
Must be nice.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we've got a friend that his job was officially here in Houston, but he worked so much remote that I mean he didn't go in the office for months on hand, right? And so he would
Right.
pick up and leave, and he would go to New York for a couple of weeks. He would go to Mexico for a couple of weeks, and they thought he was working down the street. I guess. I mean, and maybe they didn't care. Who knows? But it was interesting. So he was doing that kind of travel as well.
Mhm.
So, any comments? Any others?
Nope, not yet.
Oh, who's that? Oh, straight hair. Okay.
Focus.
I was just looking at Grandpa's laptop over here. So
and it's Grandpa who's making these comments, but
yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah. I'm a grandpa.
People will be more open to doing it, once they actually realize or educated on the benefits. There are some benefits of actually, and it's possible. That's the thing.
It
It's
is.
possible to obtain another property, another home, second home, or vacation home at your fingertips.
I guess there's some things to consider, like the stability of where you're going, making sure that there's adequate internet adequate
For sure.
power, adequate all the stuff that you need to be
Food, restaurants,
Yeah.
hospitals, just in case something happens, all
Sure.
those things.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we've also got some other friends that, one way to kind of figure out if you like the area is to stay there from time to time, right?
Yeah.
And so we have some friends that, specifically in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, that went down to we call it PV, went down to PV, bought a place, came home, visited it regularly, probably a couple of times a year, and their work made it such that they could work remote. And so they moved down there. They were down there a couple of years. They've since come back, but they love it down there, and it was a great experience for them. So I guess buying a place remotely doesn't mean that you have to have the plan to move there.
Yeah.
Right.
It can be,
Just
you-
vacation.
yeah, justification to go down there, um, up there, wherever. But yeah, go there, and if you choose to move there, you can choose to move back, but you still have the asset. So
Sure. And then too, depending on how often or frequent that you're gonna, if you're not gonna use it year round, like the vacation home or second home year round, you can definitely lease it out or rent it out.
Yeah.
Right.
For tourists.
Just like your client from Austin.
oh, that's
They
right.
bought
Yeah.
2 properties. They're from Austin, have some extra disposable income, and they ended up buying not 1 but 2.
Actually, it's 3 units.
3 total.
Yeah. So what for them? It was important to them to have a place in Galveston because it was close enough that they could visit regularly, and they bought one property that had 2 units, and they leased the upstairs full time as a long term unit,
Mhm.
and then they stay in the downstairs. And since they originally planned to just stay in the downstairs and keep it for them, now if they're not there, they do short term. So they rent it via Airbnb, and then they bought another one recently as well. And they're not spending. I mean, these are properties that are under 200,000, so it's not like they're spending
Million
the
bucks.
same as what we would
Right,
live in
right.
sometimes.
So Mohammed says plus Airbnb, which is a great
Yeah, there you
lead-in.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job, Mohammed.
So I have. So my kids are grown. Julia, we were talking about this earlier. What are there advantages you see, like when you travel with your kids, to being able to stay in versus a hotel room, compared to like a house with a kitchen and all of that? When you're
Yeah,
traveling.
so then you have more control over neighbor situations. So like we just got back from a beach vacation this weekend and the neighbors were horrible. So it was a condo, so you can't really control that. But like something like that, or having a kitchen, you don't have to go eat out every single meal because that's where it adds up the most, especially with kids that don't really eat. They just pick at it.
Yeah.
That's
You
it.
pay for it and then they don't even eat it. Yeah.
They're not eating it.
Okay.
It's wasted.
And then kind of controlling like the noise and being in a hotel, you have little ones, they're running, they're jumping.
Right.
Versus a house, there's more space, and they feel like home.
Right. We could be
Homework.
the bad neighbor too. So it's another reason.
So Michael Harrington says we always use an Airbnb short term due to our family size. So his family, I think it's 6 people.
Yeah.
So, and this also goes if you have multi-generational. So
Yeah.
if you have
Right.
2 sets of families getting together, or 3, or I took a client out, came in from Corpus Christi, and it was the grandma, the son, and then the 2 son and daughter, and both their spouses. That can add up, and it's just fun to have everybody together, right?
Exactly.
So yeah.
Well, and when you get together, so if you've got a place that you're all traveling to, it's a known. It's not like, every time we travel, and we have really good experiences a lot of times, but you get to the point where you turn that doorknob and you literally, I don't care what it said online,
Yeah, that's
you don't
right.
know what's behind that door. But if it's yours, you do.
Right.
Right?
The comfort
And-
of
The
that.
comfort of having your own place, own space,
Yeah.
right?
I
Kind
mean,
of tailored,
Yeah.
Exactly.
designed, for you. Yeah.
And sometimes there's good surprises, and sometimes that is not a good surprise,
True.
behind that door. But the other thing is that kind of what you were saying, Joe, is that you know, if you're multi-generational, the family, whatever, when you're in a hotel, you're always like, somebody's in this room and that room, and
Mhm.
you're all over, and then you're meeting downstairs. Whereas really, you're all just coming to the living room,
Exactly.
you know,
I
and
like that better.
yeah, so
Totally.
it's kind of fun. So, um,
And then the availability as well too. I mean, you don't have to worry, you know, as far as booking accommodations, all of that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Planning, yeah. It
Planning.
saves a lot of the stress from that for sure.
Mhm.
so if you were going to do this, if you were going to buy a property that was in another market, so that you could have a vacation home, that you could consider moving to, kind of what we've been talking about. What are some of the things that would be that are important to consider making that dream a reality?
So it's not in the same town that you're in.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So one thing for me is make sure that you have a good team in place, right? So since you're remote and you can't go check on it, you need somebody. Professional management companies can always be my suggestion, because we have Airbnbs, and it's wonderful that they go over there as soon as the guests leave. They're there within the next 30 minutes. They're making sure everything is the way it was before, and then the cleaning crew goes right behind them and they do an inventory of everything just so that they can turn it, but also to make sure that there wasn't major damages or anything crazy. So having a good team, especially remote, is going to be super important for sure.
So I've got a client that recently um, purchased an Airbnb, and I am his second realtor, not his first. So his first realtor helped him purchase this Airbnb, purchased a property here in Houston, and he resides in another state. And he started getting complaints, got the whole thing set up. It's super cute. Got the whole thing set up, and people started complaining about the smell. And he's like,
Well, the guests,
what's
not
yes,
the
excuse
neighbor.
me. No, the guests started
Okay.
complaining about a smell. And he was like, I wonder what that is. Why is there a smell? Well, he goes, starts doing his research. There's a water treatment plant literally right behind his home.
I was thinking, I was thinking of waste dump, but if not,
Yeah.
Yeah.
sure.
So you need to do your research.
Location.
You
Absolutely.
know, there's a saying in real estate: buyer beware. Your realtor should really help you with this, and it's your property, so beware. I mean, you need to figure out what the local laws are.
Sure.
I mean, Miami, we were hot and heavy at one point to get a property in Miami and do short term, only to find out nobody in the area we like to stay allows short term leases.
Yeah.
And so,
Prohibited by law.
and if you try to have people sneak in,
Wow, so it's about law, not even
Yeah,
HOA.
that's right. No.
Oh, wow.
So the cameras in the building look, and they start counting how many people come in with suitcases.
In that
And
door.
if it ain't you, it's somebody else, there's going to be a problem.
Jeez.
So,
Okay.
so knowing the local laws, the local customs is super important, I think.
Yeah.
Financing is another one. You know, Michael Harrington was just on, but financing is important because
Sure.
if it's international, they may
Yeah.
require more money
More
down.
money down. Yeah.
Different terms. I don't know.
But again, that goes with the laws. You got to figure out what you can and can't do over there.
I agree.
Also, too, like the destination too, if that area, like you said, going back to your research, because if you're thinking about short term rental and vacation home or whatever, the popularity of the place, you know, yeah, over time, you know.
Yeah, the other piece to be very careful of, and this is more the negative end, is making sure that you get something that appeals, but it's also how you vet your guests. Because we've had one where I was working with another agent, and he says, "Oh yeah, I do Airbnb on the side. It's all great, blah blah blah." I said, "Oh, okay, cool." And halfway through the transaction, and you go, "What's going on?" I said, "Oh man, it's really bad." This is, well, my other Airbnb, apparently these guests came in from Sugarland. They turned it into a club.
Oh my God.
They had a bouncer. They charged
What?
entrance fee, and then the cops had to come because 2 a.m. there were people drunk. So you got to be really careful of what
Yeah.
It
you.
must be a great property.
Yeah, it was a great property because it had a rooftop deck.
Yeah.
There was 12 different,
Yeah. Yeah.
unobstructed view downtown was really pretty, but that's all also problematic for your neighbors,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Because you have those things. So it's vetting the gas, making sure there's a whole variety of things and that's why you should go with some sort of professional property
Yeah.
management because they know these things. They know
Yeah.
what to vet for,
They-
what to look for. I didn't know that on one of our Airbnbs they declined people. They just didn't like it. They didn't
Really?
like them, and they look at everything. They look at all their social. Are they party animals? Are they aggressive on those type of things and stuff? I don't know. I don't know the whole list.
So watch what y'all post.
They-
You may not get a place.
You may not get a place, but I mean, it's just interesting, right? So
That's funny.
You know, one thing that for me, and I guess it depends on your tolerance level of how much you want to know is going on. But for me, I feel so much better knowing that I can drive over and look at the property. You know, if maintenance was done, I can drive over and see what maintenance was done. I would love to we don't have a place in Galveston. I would love to have a place in Galveston because it is beach. And it's close enough.
Yeah.
We could do that.
Galveston, Lake Travis.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know.
Like Conroe would be awesome.
Yeah.
Honestly,
But you
that's
still can
another
get there. I mean, the
yeah.
proximity is still close. You know, for
Mhm.
maintenance, just to check on it, put an eye on it.
Yeah, if I had a place or we had a place in, let's say, Gulf Shores, you know, that's a ways away. Which for me, I would feel like I need to drive by and look at it every so often. Which
Yeah.
maybe I get past that eventually, but for other people, and if you've got the right team in place, it's probably fine,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
you can always do it. People have done this. I've actually represented a client that's buying a house at the sight unseen. So you do a FaceTime, and you do a walkthrough, and you stand there, and here it is, and you know, so it's again buyer beware, and it's a
Yeah.
challenge to make sure you do that. But there's you can also do that as well with your professional management company. Every time there's a turnover, I need to see a video
Yes.
of everything.
have y'all ever done that before, where you represented a client that has never seen the property?
I actually
No.
Remember I told you.
Oh, that's right. She as a client, she did.
Oh,
Yeah.
and I bought our first home without seeing it. Like
Really?
we've seen pictures and everything, but we were in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and we looked at a place in Crosby, Texas, and I never saw it. We didn't go see it, so we just
Oof.
bought it. It was a beautiful house, luckily.
It was
so
a beautiful
It
house.
was
I
a
agree.
brand new house, though. It
Yeah.
had been built, and nobody.
Yeah, that's a little different.
But you
Yeah,
still had to be
Somebody,
comfortable.
not
Yeah.
somebody that lived in what I think
Yeah.
I would be
Yeah.
that.
But you still had to be comfortable with the neighborhood
Yeah,
and
and
driving.
the neighborhood was good, luckily. 'cause,
It
like,
was, yeah.
in Baytown, you don't know what you're.
How did you know the neighborhood was good?
I don't remember.
Did
I guess
you,
because it was a new subdivision, we just kind of trusted that it
Should
wasn't
like
gonna
that.
be
Yeah.
Lucked
anything
out.
bad.
Good.
That was lucked out. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend.
I think from an investor perspective, if you know, like, if you have like certain things you're gonna do to the property, as far as aesthetics and everything, if they have like a construction crew already on team on deck or whatever, that's a little bit different. I know that they do, yeah, but no, but
I've had a
for
couple.
me, no, I never would do that.
I've represented, I think, 3 different clients that never saw the property
Oh, God.
until the final walkthrough.
No.
And my stomach was just in knots for 35 days, because
If they like it,
They might.
if they like it, yeah.
one of them had family, and so I was like, I need your family here.
Yeah.
The other 2 did not even have family, and
Oh wow.
anyway, that
And
that
this was a primary home.
this was their
The
primary.
primary
Mhm.
homestead. Okay.
I mean, sometimes there's scenarios where that's no other choice.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You were?
yeah.
We did it with a
You have to
rental
do
too
that.
in Utah.
She does it all the time.
Yeah.
So
You're in
much.
Utah,
In
so-
Utah,
She's
we
a
couldn't go to
professional.
Arizona. We couldn't go drive. to
Ah, it's
Arizona.
good enough.
It's
It's fine.
okay.
She doesn't care. She's like, you know what? Yeah,
Send me 2 or 3 pictures.
FaceTime is
They
in the
don't have
picture.
anything
Where
there.
do I sign?
I'll take it. Yeah.
I wasn't buying it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's,
okay,
I'm glad
that's the
that worked
only
out for
time-
you, though.
I think.
I think, yeah, you don't know. Yeah. That's
All
awesome.
right. So I think we are out.
All right. Did anybody guess the number? If you haven't guessed the number, go ahead.
What is the number?
It's been right here.
What's the question? What's the question?
What's the question? Ask the question.
Uh,
Don't tell them what it is.
By
Ask the-
by
by
20,
2025, how many Americans will be working remotely?
how many?
How many? Not percentage,
How many?
but what is the number of Americans?
And post it in the Facebooks or the socials.
Because this will be a recording, so they can.
So, what I'm gonna say, does anyone know the percentage that
Don't
started
tell them the
that
percentage.
started working remotely?
Oh,
Started?
Not it's not on here.
I know that started or that will be by 2025.
No, that are working remotely currently.
That's not a book.
What is it,
It's
Julia?
not on the-
What is it, Julie?
20%.
20%. So 1/5 of all Americans are working remotely.
Today, not in 2025.
Correct.
Yeah.
So what's the number of millions that are
What's the
going to be
number? What's the number?
working remotely? Post it in there. We have a gift coming to you if you can guess it right.
And Julia will be telling y'all. She'll be doing it. Julia will be doing a video later this week, telling y'all what the gift is and modeling it. So there you go. All right. Anybody else? Last word.
No,
What's your
we're
last
good.
word, dude?
A vacation home is possible. Give us a call.
That's right. What's your last word?
Call them.
Call us, you know. Joe?
We'd be happy to help.
Does it have to be? I like vacations. That's my last word.
It's vacation.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. My last word is we appreciate everybody. We'll see y'all later. Take care. Good night.